When it comes to a trucking business, there's a lot of gross revenue that we make on a day-to-day basis, but there's expenses that come with that. Some of the expenses you're gonna see in the trucking business are fuel, hotels, driver pay, and insurance. For those that don't know me, my name is Kobe from K King Trucking. I own 5 box trucks, and last year we did 1.2 million in gross revenue. One of the easiest things to do to improve profit margins in this business is driver pay and driving yourself. I've been in the business 4 years. I drove for about 3 years of my 4 full-time going OTR because I knew that every time I drove, the less money I had to pay out to another person for the business to save money for myself as the business owner. Driving yourself is a great way to learn the business, to be a part of all aspects of the business, and of course to save the margins that you would pay a driver. So for example, if I'm paying a driver 50 or 60 cents a mile and they're doing 3,000 to 4,000 miles a week, that's a good chunk of the profit margins for the business. Now, of course, the goal for everyone starting a trucking company is to eventually not have to drive. So I'm not telling you that you have to drive forever, but I am telling you that if you want to be successful in the business starting out, if you can save that big of a profit margin by driving yourself, saving that portion of the money, you can accelerate your process for scaling the business. For someone that wants to scale, if I'm paying a driver $1,000 to $1,500 to even $2,000 a week, if I save that portion myself, put in the time myself for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the time period may be, and I limit my expenses at home as a person to save that portion of the money, then each week, each month, I can put that money away to allocate that to saving towards a new truck, to paying that portion to insurance to make it cheaper for yourself to save for the business. There's many ways, but increasing profit margins as far as drivers go, if you can do that yourself, you're gonna save a lot of money each week and each month of the business. Because allocating that driver pay instead of paying a driver for a period of time is how I'm gonna escalate my scaling process and how I'm gonna save money for the business and for myself. Now, once you get to the point where you can hire a driver, you need to hire a competent, qualified driver. Now, we're all in non-CDL box trucks, so you don't need a CDL to operate the truck. So I don't have to find someone that's overqualified or has 17 years of CDL experience. I need to find someone that, just has a Class C license and can do the job the way I need the job to be done. Now, when I say a competent driver, you gotta think about it. Every time your truck leaves your location, the truck is in that driver's hands. So although you own the truck, it's in a way the driver's property at that point in time. So you want them to think how you think. You want them to make sure they're checking for bridges, making sure they're using a different app for GPS when they're driving through, the Midwest or the East. You wanna make sure they're stopping at cheaper gas stations and truck stops so that you can lessen your fuel costs on that trip. You wanna make sure that they're strapping the freight down so you can lessen any kind of claim that could be had if the driver didn't ensure the freight was strapped down properly. That is a requirement on that shipment. So you wanna make sure that driver can communicate. So if there's ever any problems on the road with anything in the truck, anything with the load, they communicate with you so you're in the know and you don't know things, 3 hours behind, and you can stay ahead of what's going on. You also want to make sure you hire a driver with a good driving history. A driver that doesn't have speeding tickets and have accidents and things of that on their record within the last 3 years, because that's going to increase your insurance rate. You don't want drivers that are going to increase your policy to a point where it's going to be hard to profit the way you want to. When I go to hire a driver, I look for a few things. For example, drivers that are punctual, that are going to be on time, drivers that communicate effectively, drivers that drive safely. Every owner is going to have a different list of qualifications that they're going to look for in a driver, and you have to know yours. Another way to increase profits, which people don't really think about, is preventative maintenance. So of course with preventative maintenance, you're spending money to make sure that your truck is in a good condition while the truck hits the road and is gone for a week or 2 or even a month. But preventative maintenance is something that will lead to more profits in the long run, because if your truck is in a good condition and it doesn't break down as much over the road, you don't have to get tows, you don't have to get service trucks to come out, you don't have to go to shops because these different things are wrong, then you're gonna spend more money over the road, which is gonna lessen your profits in the business. So preventative maintenance, making sure that you have oil in the truck, making sure you have coolant, making sure your brakes are good, making sure your tires are good, and everything like that can go a long way as far as saving money and is gonna help you profit along the way. This is a business that, we look to increase profits as the business goes. It's not something you're gonna see right away. Everyone knows that time is money in this business. So if your truck breaks down over the road and you have to go to a shop and that shop is backed up for a week or 2 weeks, you're basically missing out on money. And that's the last thing that you want in this business. You want your truck to operate daily and weekly and drop off as many loads as you can throughout that week, or do as many miles as you can that week to increase your profits. But if you don't take care of your truck ahead of time, it's gonna break down when you least expect it, and that's what's gonna lessen your profits as this business goes. Preventative maintenance is so important. I can't express it enough. Make sure that you guys are doing those things that you need to be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Oil changes for a great example, just to ensure that you increase your profits. An easy and quick way to increase profits over time is not booking loads to dry areas, dry markets, while dispatching your truck for the week. So if I'm booking my truck, I'm looking on a load board, for example, I'm trying to find freight to book for the truck while starting off, and I'm seeing a bunch of loads, maybe some loads that I like, maybe some ones I don't, but the best paying load is going to a place like Florida or Utah or Washington or Oregon or Montana or Idaho even, and you take that load because it's the best thing you can get. You thinking, oh, I need to make X amount, for the week, and I'm at, this amount, I'm at 3,000, I want to make 5 for the week, right? And it's an easy way to think, it's an easy thing to get yourself into, but at the end of the day, you're gonna go to that location, to that market, and you're not gonna get any freight out of there, and if you do, it's gonna be for $1 or it's gonna be for less than that, and all that profit that you just made is going right out the window because you're spending that money back into a hotel, back into fuel, back into deadheading, or back into paying a driver and having a driver sit somewhere. So make sure that you're staying in areas that you can continue to book the truck in, even if it's not the best paying load for that time period. It's about staying in a good market so your truck can run consistently and you don't waste money. And wasting money is something that you do not want to do in an expensive business like trucking. In addition to not going to bad areas, you want to find more ways to increase your RPM over your cost per mile in the business. So there's different ways to increase your RPM, your rate per mile. You could do it through partialing if you're in the Midwest, and the East Coast, it's a good way to increase your profit. Getting more loads on the truck to increase your margins. Something I do in this business is building relationships with brokers and or shippers to increase my profit margins, where if I book with a shipper and I'm direct with a shipper, I'm gonna get a better rate than the broker was gonna offer me. Now that's not to say that a broker can't offer me a good rate and I can't build a relationship with a broker, but either way, whether I'm going with a shipper or a broker, I still wanna get the highest rate per mile I can. The low board isn't something that you're supposed to be sticking with while you start the business. Now it can help you move from one place to another, but it's not how you're gonna increase your rate per mile as you scale your business and as you get bigger, adding more trucks to your fleet. Now you can't partial everywhere that you go in the country. Like I mentioned, that the Midwest and the East Coast are one of the better places to partial. You can't partial on the West Coast. I'm based in the West, and I know that I can't partial, going from Nevada to Oregon or Nevada to Idaho, because I'm not gonna be able to find too many loads that are going over there. So I have to know where I'm at in the market, and I have to know what's gonna be best for me at that time. Doing consistent loads with those brokers and shippers, showing them that you can haul a certain amount of freight, that you can be consistent, that you can have a truck where they need to have that truck, and you can haul that load the way that they want it done, being punctual, having the straps, having blankets, having a lift gate, things of that nature, just to make sure that you have the qualifications that they're looking for in a trucking company. We have to look at ourselves differently than just being an owner-operator. I know a lot of people that watch this content are owner-operators, but eventually we all want to scale for the most part. I know I do. So the biggest thing is thinking of yourself as someone that has 5 trucks, someone that has 10 trucks. Think bigger is the biggest point. No matter what business that you're in, lowering your overhead costs is going to be a huge determining factor on how much the business profits on a year-to-year basis, on a quarterly basis. So of course in trucking, we gross an insane amount of money because we're doing loads daily, loads that cost multiple $1,000s, and with multiple trucks, obviously the numbers can add up. But with all the expenses that come in the business, like I mentioned before, the truck notes, the insurance, the hotels, the driver pay, everything that's included, we have to be able to lower our overhead for the business to be able to increase our profits. So one of the main controllable things we can do is paying off our trucks. So as you get your loan, your first loan, and with financing, you want to be able to have a payback plan, a payoff plan, to be able to get out of that truck note, and whatever number you were paying per month, you're gonna be able to add that back to the business. So if you're paying $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, that's money that's going back to the business, whether you have a driver in it or not. And of course, if you have a driver, it's only gonna make it easier on you. And if you're driving yourself, then all the profit is basically to you into the business. So lowering overhead. Another thing is insurance. So getting quality inspections, passing on your inspections, not getting put out of service. Inspections go a long way with the insurance companies, as well as hiring quality drivers that aren't gonna increase your insurance rates, and making sure that the drivers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and keep a quality insurance rate that you have with each company that you're working with, so that you can renew every year, so that your insurance rates don't increase. And while you're building your business and lowering all your other costs, that's going to help you increase your profits as well. And another big thing, just because you own a business and have a business doesn't mean go home and buy this and buy that and get this house and get this car. It takes time to build a business, no matter what kind of business it is. And understanding how much you're making, how much you're truly making, whether you're driving, whether you're not driving, you still want to be able to lower your overhead. It doesn't even matter if you have a business. I could just work a 9 to 5. If I'm making, you know, $50,000 a year, but I have low bills, I'm probably gonna have more money than the next person that's making 75, but has, you know, $5,000 in bills or $10,000 in bills. So it's always gonna even out, but saving your money, lowering your overhead, not trying to keep up with, you know, this person and that person, living your life and doing the right things with your money, lowering your overhead as a person and as a business is only gonna increase your profits, help you make the money that you truly wanna make. So many things that go into the business that attribute to making the most amount of money that you can and lowering your overhead for the business to increase your profits, your net profits in this business. You know, so many people wanna talk about the gross numbers is, but you know, there's not emphasis on net. People want to know your net, but they don't even know their own net. So I'm trying to give you guys things to look for when trying to increase your net profits in the business. Trucking is something that we're all doing, that we're all facing some of the same similar problems, but being ahead of schedule, being on top of everything that you're doing, understanding your numbers, being on top of your drivers, you know, setting standards for everything that you do in the business is how you're gonna be able to scale and grow the business how we all want to. So I have 5 trucks now. It took me 4 years to get 5 trucks. I could have had more trucks, but at the end of the day, you gotta make sure your systems are in place to be able to keep scaling for the business. If you don't have the systems in place yet, until you have your systems in place yet, you want to work on getting those done so that you can scale the right way and the most profitable way. So being able to buy trucks cash, being able to hire good drivers to be able to keep the same insurance rates and even lower them if possible, having good trucks, having them maintenance properly, having mechanics in place to help maintenance them properly, and so many other things that are going to help you increase profits in a business. It's an ongoing thing. So make sure that you're educating yourself and holding yourself accountable to be the best that you can be and the best trucking owner, operator, whatever it is that you can be. Again, my name is Kobe from KK Trucking. Make sure you guys keep checking out the 17-step blueprint I got in my bio. It helps people get into the business A to Z with all the things that you need to get into the business. So keep checking that out. I know that's a great resource for you guys. Keep watching the content as I'm, you know, putting out as much information as I can to be the most transparent that I can. For those that haven't, make sure you keep liking and subscribing on the videos. Leave comments, questions that you may have, or just things that you want to share so we can keep learning together on this journey to being, you know, the best box truck owners that we can. Also, make sure you follow my Instagram at KK Trucking. Post a lot of my daily content there, whether it's loads, things I'm doing with my trucks, you know, things I'm doing with drivers, situations I'm having, whether they're good or bad, you know, trying to show the transparency of the business and just everything that goes into a day-to-day trucking owner. Again, y'all, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Keep tapping in. Peace.